All right. So, did you get a chance to look over everything? I think we'll do the news pieces, like the quick mention things, and
Hmm.
then we'll just do, maybe we could just do that first bonus one, the bands that are eternally praised. Which one never resonated with you?
Oh, did you see that Taylor Swift name dropped Starting Line?
I did. I was
There's some-
wondering, I was going to bring that up. I actually have that pulled up as something that maybe we could talk about.
I think it's topical.
I think it is too. Did you happen to, I know you're not a huge
I don't.
T Swift
Well,
fan, but did you listen to
I
it?
did try to listen to the album. It's so much.
I know, right? Like,
I don't know that I got to that song or not, or if I would have noticed that she said Starting Line or not.
there's no way I would have picked up on it had I gotten to that song. But honestly, I listened to it like through the speakers of my phone because we were having a garage sale this weekend.
Oh, how'd that go?
Oh, really good. I think we made like $300, so it was
A
decent.
lot of kids close.
A lot of kids' clothes, some kids' toys and stuff.
Yeah,
But
that always does well. Yeah, I mean it's not till track 17, so
yeah, so
I just haven't gotten there yet. I'll be honest.
the song was called "The Black Dog," right?
Yep,
Not to be confused with Led Zeppelin's "Black Dog."
correct. It's not a cover of that because I don't mention the Starting Line,
No.
which would be weird if they did.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool. So Taylor Swift clearly is a emo kid at heart, I think, or had a emo past maybe. So that's pretty cool, right? I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, in the frame of the song, I think it's like someone mentioning that band tour and her saying that she's not old enough to know who it is or something like that. So
Oh, okay. Well, let's hear. So I have.
that's the way I read it anyway.
Well, let's see if the Brooklyn Vegan sheds any light on this because they have an article on it. It says the Starting Line respond to Taylor Swift for name dropping them on her new album. And the article says, as you may have heard, one of the many referential lyrics on Taylor Swift's new 2-hour double album, The Tortured Poets Department, is a reference to emo pop vets' The Starting Line on the song The Black Dog. Apparently, it's a reference to Taylor's ex, Maddie Healy, of the 1975, covering The Best of Me. I didn't even know they covered The Best of Me. I'm going to have to check that out.
That makes sense then.
Says the Starting Line themselves have also heard this, and they have publicly thanked Taylor. They said, "Dear Taylor, we heard the song. Thank you for name-checking our band. We feel flattered and humbled by the reverberations of love that have come back to us as a result. It's an honor to have the Starting Line memorialized, thank you, on such a lovely song. You didn't have to do that, but you did, and we appreciate it wholeheartedly. Respect, love, the Starting Line." So yeah, pretty cool. I do wonder, it says we're humbled and flattered by the reverberations of love that have come back to us as a result. I wonder how many like when somebody performs at the Super Bowl, their streaming catalog numbers just go up exponentially. So I wonder if how much of a boost the Starting Line is getting from this.
I'd be shocked if they already know that they have a boost yet. It's been,
You think?
It's only been released since Friday, so
That's
it'd
true.
be hard to have those metrics.
That's true. I do think there are, I want to say, because I feel like,
Maybe it was just like social media engagement or something like that, or
possibly.
mentions or something like that.
I do want to
Easier
say,
to track.
because I think Spotify might have real-time numbers, because I feel like I've seen Felicity, they're a band that we've had on the podcast before, and I highly recommend you guys check them out if you haven't. But I feel like they've posted like real-time stats of one of their songs being played or something like that. So I feel like maybe there is for Spotify, but as a whole, probably not. But I would be curious to know, like in the next week, how many more streams the Starting Line is receiving.
I didn't
from
know
this
that
mention.
the 1975 had covered it.
Yeah, me neither. I definitely want to check that out because I like a lot of the stuff the 1975 has done. That one song, my favorite song of theirs, I think it's called "I Love You." The 1975. Let me look it up real quick because I want to get it right.
Well, if they did cover it, it's not on Spotify, so it must have been. Maybe they do it live or something.
"I'm in Love with You" is the 1975 song that I absolutely love. I think it's a masterpiece of an earworm of a hit. It's got 130 million streams wonder when that song came out. It's probably on their last album. It looks like it came out in 2022 on their album Being Funny in a Foreign Language. So, but yeah, so apparently too, I guess Taylor Swift and Maddie Healy were dating for a little bit. I don't think they were dating very long, but apparently I thought I read somewhere that fans were not, I guess, kind of put off that there were so many songs about Maddie Healy. At least that's what they think. But, you know the game of Taylor Swift at this point, guys. So yeah, pretty cool. The starting line dropped, name dropped by T Swift. I mean, that's huge. Like, if you're going to be name dropped by anybody, you want it to be Taylor Swift, right? Mm-hmm. And the fact that it just lives on forever now, it's in a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah, it's a lot better name drop than being on like the Epstein report or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's one area where you don't want to be mentioned.
Yeah, you don't want to be tied to that island.
No. So yeah, pretty cool. So John, I guess we could jump in. We didn't really jump into the podcast, but welcome everybody. It's Unplugged.
We're going introless this week.
It's Unplugged with Tyler Winters and John Pearman. We're both
here.
The
Raw Dog episode.
The Raw Dog. Oof.
That's a terrible name. It's a shitty morning radio show.
Yeah. I feel like we should go by that when we change the podcast name in the future. That's what it should go by. The Raw Dogs.
Oh. Yeah.
Anyways,
the
fantastic
ballpark food that got me.
We went to Home Plate Bar and Grill last night, and I
love Home Plate.
I got the 2 brat meal. Pretty good.
How'd that do?
It was good.
Have you had the Italian beef there?
I don't think so. The only other time I've been there was with you and Ryan.
Oh, so you had the chicken thing.
Yeah. Which I don't remember. Wasn't it like, didn't I get like a buffalo thing? They didn't have it on the menu that I could see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just their chicken sandwich, I think.
Was it just a chicken sandwich? Okay.
Yeah, it's chicken strips on the sandwich.
Well, I was in the mood for buffalo and didn't get any buffalo, so I ended up going brats. So.
There you go. Yeah, we went to the Cardinals game yesterday.
Oh, you did? Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Yeah, they suck, dude. They just can't finish off any games. And I mean, last night was yesterday was a bloodbath, but they didn't even do anything.
It was good for an inning.
Yeah.
It was just the experience all around wasn't great. So.
Yeah. Like getting there, or are you talking
getting
just
there's fine? Well, okay. We did end up in East St. Louis on the way there and on the way back somehow, like because of one of the road closures. But,
oh yeah, I heard that it's the highway is just terrible getting there right now.
Yeah. So it tried to take us down to like the Cleve Bridge or whatever, like away from that, and I was like, no, we'll just go this way. And then we ended up in East St. Louis. So
East St. Louis is not for those who are unaware. It's not a place that you really want to be in.
Machine.
Yeah.
Not the safest place in the country.
Yeah.
But we were coming from Belleville going in, and we had it routed us through there on the way to the stadium too. So we ended up there twice.
Oh, perfect. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I heard
both in daylight, which is better.
So for those who care, it's about an hour and a half drive from where John and I are to St. Louis easily. But I heard somebody, because of all the traffic and whatnot, it was like in the road closures, it took nearly 2 hours and 45 minutes for them to get from the ballpark to home. So,
getting out. Crazy. Yeah, we left in like 6 innings. So,
good for you.
So I've seen enough of this.
Yeah, it's hard.
Stop the fight.
It's hard to and I don't want to harp on baseball too long, but John and I are long-time Cardinals fans. And they've sucked for the last couple years, like bad. And
since
I'm to the
2019, I guess.
Yeah, I'm to the point where I don't want to give them any money because, I mean, if you don't show up to the game, then the team has to do something. But they are regularly getting great
I wanted a
numbers.
kosher dog, though.
Yeah. Did you get one?
Yeah, we got a kosher dog. It's good. Pretzel, cheese,
peanuts. Did it live up to what you were wanting it to?
Kosher dog's good, yeah.
All right. Good.
I mean, it's not $10 good, but it's good.
And was that the reason you were late to the recording this morning?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, fire drew me.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. Speaking of fire, it seems like Jack White, John, of the White Stripes, is really fired up about, Mount Rushmore. I don't know if you read this, but I saw that the rock feed mentioned this over on Instagram, and They said Jack White is deeply concerned about pile of rocks. And if you scroll through, you see that Jack White has shared an image of Mount Rushmore. And underneath Mount Rushmore, there's a pile of debris of rock, just a bunch of rocks. And he really wants this cleaned up. And let me read what he says here. So this is from Jack White. He says, "So is all of this rubble the remnants of the sculpting of Mount Rushmore? So nobody is going to clean this up? We, as a people, are just going to let this lay here forever? Was this already there, or is this the largest monument to littering the world has ever seen? Is this
rock
what..."
isn't litter.
Yeah, and we'll get to that.
It's a naturally forming.
Right. That's the other piece to this. But he goes
It's like
on.
calling leaves litter.
Right. He says, "Just chip away at the rock and leave all the detritus below." Did he think...
Oh, he just wanted to say detritus.
I know. Did he think this was not his problem? I'm guessing the president at the time. I don't know. He's
confirming that he doesn't know who carved him out. Whoever did it, I don't know.
Yeah. I know it was a he, though, because a she wouldn't be allowed.
Well, I mean, at that time.
Yeah, right. I don't see any other large piles of chipped stones and rubble around this area in the wide shots. Don't get me started on the fact that this was native land in a sacred mountain. I also don't want to hear about how the carving was supposed to be full-bodied presidents, or the back of it has a secret room. I don't care about that part. I specifically want to know who's going to clean this up, and when and how, and then we can ask why. Jack White, signing off. Such a weird thing to be concerned about.
I thought it was going to be some political statement about who was on Mount Rushmore or something like that.
I mean, yeah.
Thought one of them not worthy or something.
Yeah, I feel like this is so weird. I feel like of any of those presidents on Mount Rushmore that he would be concerned with would be like, just because this is so weird, he would pick the weirdest one to have an issue with, Abe Lincoln. Arguably.
I would have think, one of the slave owning.
Yeah, but
presidents up there might cause more issue. But.
Sure, I would think that would have. I
don't know if I can name. It's Roosevelt, Lincoln, Washington, and Jefferson.
Jefferson, yeah.
Okay.
I think that sounds right.
I think
now I have to look that up because I'm not going to say yeah and then move on.
Well, I had to think about it. It's Teddy Roosevelt, not FDR, of course.
It's right. It's Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Teddy Roosevelt. You're right. So good job. I've seen Mount Rushmore. Have you ever been to?
I've never been up that way. No. Uh-uh.
Yeah, we went to Yellowstone once and saw it. It's pretty damn cool. I definitely recommend if you're ever out that way. Definitely go check it out.
Well, did you clean any of the rocks up?
I actually contributed to it. I saw a bunch of rocks on the path that I was on, and I threw them up there. So. Yeah,
I plan on, if I ever have kidney stones, I'm going to collect them and then toss them in the pile.
And for some reason, I heard other little kids throwing them, and I swear I heard one say "fuck you, Jack White," which made no sense at the time, but maybe
Edward Scissorhands looking motherfucker.
But it's just so weird. But
fuck you.
I remember reading something. Oh, somebody said on the Rock Feed account, they're like, wait until he finds out what happens to mountains and rocks over millions of years. It's yeah.
This goddamn water washed away rock.
But you know what's funny about this? I feel like this was posted, he said this during, you know how people were afraid that World War III was starting a week ago or whatever?
Sure.
There was wars going on and bombings happening. Well, yeah, still going on. But there were actual attacks happening at this time that he sends this out, and you're concerned about rocks, buddy. There is so much more in the
Nature's
world to
weapons.
Be concerned about than rocks on a mountain. Chill out, Jack White. Oh,
yeah, why don't you feed the hungry?
Here, somebody else.
I'm sure he does a lot of philanthropic work. I don't really know.
He probably does. He seems like the type.
As long as it's not in the sun.
Jack White does seem overall a good dude.
Unless
from what I've
your
read.
Cell phone at a concert, then
right,
real prick.
This person said, "Rich people opinions," when in quotes. "I just got home from grocery shopping. Maybe Jack and I can sit down and have a talk about how my dollars bring home less and less food every week. Maybe we could talk about my health insurance more than tripling in 3 years. Maybe we could talk about the notice I got last week about my rent going up in a few months, or my gas and electric going up too. I don't know, guys. Don't you all feel there are some other non-rich rock star, celebrity, narcissist, real-life topics you might want to bring to Jack's attention? Otherwise, Jack, kick rocks. Kick rocks.
Kick them into a pile.
Great sign-off. That was good. Yeah, so I think
couldn't have said it better myself.
Right. Again, so many more things in life to worry about than rocks on a mountain, where rocks belong, you know? So
yeah, they're home.
Yeah.
That's, you know?
Yeah. So, sorry, Jack. But
so you're going to complain about all the dust they made?
Right. Okay. So I thought that was interesting to bring up. I knew we could have fun grilling him on that. Another grilling that we could possibly do, this is country music related. I don't know if you saw this. Morgan Wallen, he's arguably the biggest country music star right now.
I mean, Jellyroll is pretty big.
Jellyroll is too, which we're going to bring up Jellyroll after this.
No, I just meant he's big.
Oh, yeah, he is. Apparently he's lost 70 pounds recently, working out and whatnot.
That's a lot of rocks.
Yeah.
A pile of rocks.
That's snorting those to lose the weight. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just trying to make rock references.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's going to be ongoing throughout the episode. So
yeah, I like it.
Hey, hold on for that.
So Morgan Wallen was in the news again this week for something pretty immature. So you guys may remember, gosh, I don't know. It was a few months ago. He was caught using the N-word in a drunken stupor.
That was a couple years ago now, I think.
Yeah, was it? Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
I seriously cannot keep track of time. Like, since COVID, like, I have no concept of 2 months to a year, which is just nuts. But anyways, he was virtually kind of canceled during that time, even though while he was canceled, his numbers
popularity increased.
Yeah, he just got so much more popular. So he was caught saying the N-word. He was drunk during that time. Not that that's any type of excuse. I'm just saying he was, because it kind of goes on to what happened here. So Morgan Wallen it was after a show last week. He was at Eric Church's bar in Nashville, and I guess he was on top of the roof. Maybe there's drinks in a bar up there. I'm not sure. But he got drunk, and he threw a chair over the side of the building, and it landed 3 feet away from 2 officers.
Oops.
Like, one, if you're throwing something off a building, you could kill somebody, you dumb fuck. Like, be aware of what's going on. Again, he was drunk, but he was arrested, and I think he was he may have been charged with a felony. I can't remember, but ultimately, I think he paid his bail and he got out. I want to bring this up because, again, he's the biggest artist in country music right now, and I strongly feel there was something before the N-word incident too that put people off a little bit. I can't remember if it was a drunken thing or not, but I feel like this guy is 30 years old, okay? And he's the biggest star. So many hits. He's doing very well. I really feel like, John, if he keeps doing this, like getting drunk and not being able to control his emotions or whatever, he's going to ruin his career. Like, I feel like he will. Like, right? Like, he has to.
Yeah, I mean, it's a slippery slope, yeah.
I don't know. And I just want to bring it up because it's like, I feel like he needs to get help with his alcohol drinking. Because if you're drinking and you can't control how you are, then you have a problem when you're drinking. So I don't know. I'm just going to predict right now that because I want it on record, I'm going to predict that if Morgan Wallen doesn't get help or change his ways, he's going to have a fall from grace. Like, I feel like it's going to just be a depressing fall, I feel like. I can almost see it being like a Wes Scranton from Puddle of Mud, who doesn't just randomly stop shows short or doesn't show up for shows. I could just see it going down like that. And apparently there were rumors that Morgan Wallen's bar outburst was allegedly caused by his ex-fiance eloping. So, but again, that's no reason for that.
Well, she eloped with one of the Harlem Globetrotters, and I think it really set him off.
Oh, is that it, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut that out. Cut that joke out.
But
Don't
you know
leave
what?
that in there.
But when I read that, I thought, gee, I can't imagine why she didn't stay with Morgan Wallen in the first place. You know?
I know. Seems like balanced redneck.
Yeah. No shit. So, So, dude, get your shit together. Like, come on.
Yeah, come on, Morgan. Girl name.
Yeah.
Girl name.
Don't even get us started on that.
Get girl name.
All right. So, then there was Jellyroll, John. I want to bring him up.
Tyler's kind of a girl name too now. There are some female Tylers out there.
There
no
is.
Offense.
There is. But I still feel like it's more masculine than feminine. Right?
Oh, yeah, I don't associate it. Morgan, it's like, oh, that's girl name.
Yeah, I know a Morgan, so yeah, I would think, I think girl immediately. And can we talk about, real quick, Morgan Wallen's hair? Can we get rid of the mullet? Like, why is the mullet even a thing again?
Yeah, you should do a mullet for like a summer, and then you don't want to keep it.
And dude, when I see kids, like little like boys in mullets, like I'm like, what are their parents thinking? Sorry, like for parents out there that have sons with mullets, but it looks trashy, doesn't it?
Yeah, eventually you're gonna have to see pictures of it.
Yeah, I had a mullet when I was a kid, and I'm not happy that there are pictures out there.
Not just a mullet.
What do you mean, not just a mullet?
You had the tail too.
It wasn't a tail.
Yeah, you had the tail.
I didn't have the tail.
Why do I remember you having the tail?
It wasn't a tail. It was more of a. It's not like the mullets today. It was more of like, I feel like just like at the end, it just got longer, just at the end of the back neckline, kind of.
So it wasn't an intentional tail?
No, it wasn't a tail though, because it was like out. It was just like a section. It went from like, past one side of the neck to the other. Did it
start to flip maybe? Because my hair starts to flip if I grow it too long. Like it'll kink and then start to.
I feel like it did kind of flip towards the end. So it had a little flare, Anyways.
Yeah, I didn't make fun of it until much later.
No, that's true. Once it was gone. I don't think I
in the moment I was like, man, that's cool.
No, you weren't.
Yeah. This guy fucks. That's what I thought.
Yeah, this 5-year-old fucks. And you weren't wrong.
Nope.
All right, moving on. I thought this one was funny, John. Jellyroll, you brought him up earlier as we were talking about country music artists that are huge. No pun intended. Rolling Stone had this article. It says Jellyroll, all one word, versus Jellyroll, 2 words.
The donut.
Pennsylvania band sues country star for trademark infringement. Basically, I think it's like a wedding band, is it not? It says Jellyroll is facing a trademark infringement lawsuit brought by the leader of a Pennsylvania-based band that's been performing at weddings and charity events under the name Jellyroll since 1980. John, I can't imagine that this wedding band is going to win.
I'm rooting for them, but I don't think they will.
Yeah. Well, also, you know what? I'm rooting for them too, because I feel like the name Jellyroll is really stupid. Like, just so dumb. I like Jellyroll's music. I think he's really good at what he does, but I do feel like his face tattoos, he's going to regret the Jellyroll name moniker that he goes by in a few years.
It's also one that I'm not surprised was already taken though. Like you would think like, oh, that's been a band name.
Yeah, but
there's all sorts of bands with jelly in the name in the 90s.
Yeah, it does sound like it would be like anyway. A 90s grunge band easily. For sure. But yeah, I would like to see Jellyroll actually just go by his name. I don't even know what his real name is. Let's see. I bet it says in here.
It's a Mitch Dick Licker. I can understand why you changed it.
I really want to
Dick Licker.
Jellyroll. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see his real name in here. But anyways, I feel like he should. Let's just look it up. What is Jellyroll's real name? Jason Bradley DeFord. Like, that's a cooler country name. Jason DeFord or Jason Bradley. You know, they do that. They go by first name, middle name.
Maybe he's a Chevy guy and just doesn't want to.
Yeah. Dude, Jason DeFord sounds sweet. He should just go by
Sounds like
that.
a secret agent.
It does. Yeah. Jellyroll, man, win this case because it's stupid, but also then
Come on,
change
you
your
wedding
name.
band. Win it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? If they do win, though, John, if the wedding band wins, do you think we should go out and finally sue Yeti, the cooler company?
About damn time. Yeah.
I mean, we were Yeti first. We were.
Yep. But
We
so were
can't-
3 other bands before. So we should really let them be litigious.
What if we just team up with all the other Yetis? And we come at them?
It's like a Norwegian death metal band or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I wonder what happened to them. Anyways.
We'll
All right.
get 'em.
John, let's
We'll
get
get that cooler money.
Let's get to some real good
Maybe
topics
we can get
here.
some free swag, just like threaten them and be like, well, I mean, if you can give us a cooler, we'll leave you alone.
Yeah, I would totally leave them alone after that.
They have coolers with like pull-out drawers now, so you have like refrigerated, so you can
know
have
what?
stuff in there and not get wet. That's
Hey,
amazing.
do they have a theme song or like a little jingle? We could write the jingle.
Yeah,
I
we already have.
We've got. Well, they can pick, or we can write something new.
We can do a bunch of like, much like Mr. Freeze and Batman. We can do puns like that in the song. Like,
Oh yeah,
stay
yeah.
cool.
It would be so dumb. We would have to write a really dumb jingle. I feel like because that's just our style. But then a serious one.
Well, and you used to wrestle as the Iceman, so you have
That's
that
true.
connection too.
Yep. Yeah. John and I used to wrestle in. We had a group of friends.
I mean, I'll wrestle you right now.
I have a trampoline. So we would
going
use it.
downtown.
We had a group of friends where we would have a wrestling league and, of course, scripted. Sometimes. There was one time John and I got in a real fight when we were doing it. Was it with, we had wiffle ball bats, right? I think it was a no holds barred match, was it not?
Something, yeah. Somebody hit somebody too hard.
I think you whacked me too hard and then I took it from you and whacked you back. It's on tape somewhere. Tommy, our guest from the Unplugged with You episode, he has those tapes.
Yeah, I think I hit you with a wrestling buddy one time and like...
Which was
Crooked.
supposed to be a chair, used as a chair. Pretend. I don't know. Yeah, that was a
We
good
used a lot
time.
of boxes and stuff, I remember.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
Good
fun.
times.
Good times.
I almost hurt some people.
Yeah. There was one time where we're having a match and we would record these. We recorded all the time on VHS. And Tommy's mom was bringing home pizza. It was in the afternoon, so she brought home pizza for lunch. And John was mid-match, hungry. She says, pizza's here. John goes running off the trampoline, but his foot gets caught underneath the covering of the springs, and you just flip over, and you're just hanging upside down with your ankle caught
My
in
whole
between
leg,
the
yeah.
springs. Oh, good times. Good
Help.
times. Stop jumping.
I remember kicking somebody off the trampoline on accident too.
I think you kicked Tommy's brother off.
Yeah, I wanted to land a good drop kick and I landed flush and just
You did.
sent him 10 feet off the trampoline.
That was back in the day when trampolines did not have the netting around them either to keep
Yeah,
us
we
safe.
could have used some netting. It wouldn't have been good visually, but
No.
and it's not like you can send somebody into that without it toppling over, so it's not really that
Ours you
useful.
can. Ours you
Oh,
can.
really?
Yeah. So it probably would have been kind of cool. But back then they probably didn't have the good netting.
No, you need some bars, some
Yeah.
support beams,
Yeah.
some posts.
Yep. All right, John. I don't know what is going on with this episode, but I do want to say too.
Talking about rocks.
We didn't have last week's episode because John and I were just extremely busy, and things just kept happening throughout the week where we could not
universe got in the
record.
way.
So yeah, so this one we're kind of trying to break out, loosen the hinges a little bit, and it's not working. But John, let's talk about a main topic that I came across on Reddit, and it was they want to know bands that are eternally praised which one never resonated with you? So, John, let's start with our own, and then we can go through the comments and see what people said.
Are they all pop? This is in the pop punk genre?
This was in the pop punkers subreddit.
We can go outside of that genre, though.
I think so, too. Yeah, absolutely. I don't care if it's country. I don't care if it's pop, if it's from the 70s, whatever.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Eagles. Hate
Really? The Eagles?
Hate them.
Hotel California? Not a fan?
Don't like it. Nope.
Welcome
I don't
to
buy
the
it.
Hotel California. You know?
Don't buy it.
Jeez, okay. If you
People
say...
love them. One of the best-selling bands ever. No.
Yeah.
Garbage.
I mean, Don Henley? What about Don Henley as a solo artist?
Nope, don't like him either.
Whoa.
can
Dirty
kick
Laundry,
rocks, too.
huh? No Dirty Laundry? That was Don Henley, wasn't it?
Boys of Summer. It's Don Henley.
Oh, Boys of Summer. Okay. Boys of Summer, Don Henley, or Boys of Summer, the Ataris?
Oh, I'd rather have neither, but
You got to pick one.
I'll take the original because
Really? Okay.
The remake got overplayed.
Okay. When you're just talking about the song, though.
Oh,
just
like
the
initial
song.
listen?
Yeah, initial
Like
listen.
the first time I heard it? Probably
Yeah.
the Ataris. But I like that record a lot. But
Yeah, the record is phenomenal. But, dude, I feel like of covers, that might be that's got to be top 10 covers of all time. It has to
up
be.
there.
Because, I mean, not only
It's
is
a
it a
good
cover, but it's like reimagined. And they nailed it. From all of the layering of the guitars and everything that's going on, that production, they could not be better. I don't think it could be any better. Okay, so you're not a fan of the Eagles.
Nope.
You got any others? I feel like you probably have a lot.
Oh, yeah, sure. Universally praised. Oh, somebody like Maroon 5.
Oh, yeah, Maroon 5.
People love Maroon 5, don't like Maroon 5.
Could never get into them. Moves like Jagger.
In the pop punk genre, though, I never liked All Time Low very much.
See,
I can't say that I really listened to too much of it, though. So
that's how I am.
Throw them in there.
They came out probably towards the end of when I stopped, like, diving into new bands in the pop punk genre. It was maybe towards the end of our band. So I started listening to other
I feel
things.
like people
at
have
the
a
time.
hard on for AFI, and I never thought they were that good either.
No, that's just not my type of music. So I'll throw out there. I do not, and I've said it before, I don't care for Alkaline Trio. Never could get into them, but they're highly praised, I feel like. MXPX, can never get into them. And then the biggest one is probably My Chemical Romance. I've never gotten into My Chemical Romance. I
always loved Three Cheers. I'm not a big Black Parade fan.
No, I don't like that song. The song is
there was
too
a gal in
whiny.
American Idol last weekend that did that song, Black Parade.
Yeah.
And she did a really cool version of it. It was like slowed down, and she cut off the first part, so she plays it from when it speeds up in the song, but she played it really slow.
Gotcha.
So it was a cool arrangement.
But
she cuts out all that opening, the imagery of just the lyrical part that's just like cringy to me. I didn't like the theme of the album and all that crap.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that song too. I feel like that is, and I know people are probably gonna be like, who listen to this would be like, what on earth are you talking about? But I don't
Three
think
Cheers is a great record. And
I don't.
The first record's good. It's just production is shit on it, but songs are okay.
I do like Teenagers. I like that song. I mean, because that's just a really melodic earworm. And again, I love earworms. But I want to say, too, that I don't think The Black Parade is a good song. I don't. I mean, it's okay. It does.
I never did either, but I heard it in that slow context, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Like when you figure out what it's about. And,
Yeah, I'm sure, lyrically, it's fine. But it's just, that song just does not do it for me. It's boring.
I just associate it with the music video, and then I check out.
I don't really remember the music video. Probably because I didn't care to ever watch it because I didn't care.
It reminds me a lot of like a Smashing Pumpkins kind of style video.
Okay.
Like something from Melancholy.
Now that you mentioned the Smashing Pumpkins, My Chemical Romance has that vibe of the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I guess Gerard Way does with the paleness that is Billy Corgan as well. I don't know. But kind of that mystique of both bands in a way. I wonder if there's...
I don't think they can hold Smashing Pumpkins.
No, I don't either.
Musically, but...
No. But let's go to the comments here. And if any other bands come to mind for you, let me know.
I mean, it's tough in that genre because I don't think too many bands are like universally beloved. Like, I think there's always like a counter argument to every
that's
band.
True. Because like if you pick even the biggest bands, like
people are going to be Blink haters and Green Day haters and
Fall Out Boy. Yeah. So, although I feel like there'd probably be more Fall Out Boy haters than anything, just from where they started to where they've ended up.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely disappointed by them live, but
that one time. But that was a long time ago too, and they were young and they weren't even headliners at that time. But so I'll give them that.
I believe their gear had all burned up in an accident or something. It was destroyed, so they're using somebody else's gear.
That's right. Because I remember, they were just out of tune, and I couldn't even make out what songs they were playing at times until like the lyrics kicked in. But okay, so let's go through some of these comments. The first one,
Dylan face.
Which what?
It was their Bob Dylan face.
Their Bob Dylan face.
You can't make out what the hell they're saying.
Oh, got you. Yeah, but it came too early.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first comment in this thread. First it was again the title of this thread is bands that are eternally praised. Which one never resonated with you? And the first one comment I think is great. I came into this thread for some reason not expecting to be upset by every answer. So you guys might fall into this category when we're going over some of these band names. The first one being said has 48 upvotes. Taking Back Sunday has one iconic record and one fantastic follow-up and has been coasting on that for 20 years. That's a hot take right there.
I mean, it's not totally untrue. I think there's good records. I think Louder Now is a pretty good record too. So,
somebody underneath that comment said Louder Now was full of bangers, but to be honest, I agree with everything else you said. Everything since has been so poor, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people are kind of upset with how Adam, is he the lead singer? How his voice has kind of gotten over the years. But
who can sing like that forever?
Exactly. You can't. He probably didn't have the best technique. He ruined his voice.
That's the thing I worry about for Hot Mulligan is how long can he sing like that?
God, that guy's good. He's good.
But how long can he do that?
Right, I know. Because I've heard other people say, they love his voice. And they, when you're singing in the car, it's normal to try to sound like the guy or girl singing. Try to, karaoke that. And somebody's like, I just can't do it. It hurts. It kills my throat. It hurts my voice.
So much gravel.
There is. He's got his own style. But
there are people that have been able to. But if you look at like Bert from The Used, it's completely different.
Absolutely.
Buddy from Census Fail is completely different because you just can't.
Especially Buddy from Census Fail, I feel like.
Yeah, I got in trouble for a YouTube comment on Buddy from Census Fail.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
I said he was a fraud.
Why is he a fraud?
Oh, because he can't match the record ever.
Got you.
He can't sound like he does on a record ever, so I said he was a fraud.
So I wonder, how old were they when they released their first record? 17?
Oh, God, they're in their teens, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe
he could sound like that. I was talking about more like Let It Enfold You.
Got you,
like the follow-up. I was like,
where his voice
able to produce it well, and it's like he never could match that.
Gotcha. So you brought up The Used, and somebody else agrees that I guess The Used falls under this category of bands that they just couldn't get into. Said, I may get hate for this, but I never could get into The Used. And that one surprises me because I feel like The Used, especially on those first two albums, admittedly, I haven't really listened to a ton after that. I've listened to maybe their last album, which I thought was good. And then there was another one somewhere in there, maybe in sometime after 2016. But I've always loved Bert and The Used. I thought they've done, during that time in the early 2000s, man, just that sound. They're
the first ones to have that kind of Feldman sound too. So.
Yeah, right. But you had Finch and The Story of the Year. Like those were probably my top three bands of, who were kind of making that style of music. And I loved Bert's voice because it was so unique. I agree his voice is so unique that that one's hard to match too. But yeah, that one was I can't agree with that one. I guess I have to agree because it's just what this person thinks.
Yeah, I bet there's some Thursday haters out there.
Yeah, Thursday I never got into for sure, but they were the more. You know what? I didn't really get into emo too much. I loved pop punk, but again, I liked emo. I mean, I love The Used. I guess they're considered emo. Story of the Year. I don't know if they're considered emo, but I love that. Like, maybe I don't know what emo is, or maybe emo just is a broad term for a lot of bands. I don't know. But if My Chemical Romance is emo, I don't like them. Could never get into them. So somebody does say My Chemical Romance. Somebody says, I love the first album. The rest of them didn't connect with me the same way. It's kind of like,
I wonder what they're talking about when they mention the first album. Are they saying their first album, or
I guess
the first popular one?
I'm guessing the first album. That's how I take it, but I don't know. Somebody says Vampires Will Never Hurt You was a banger. Anything past that album, I just do not vibe with. All right, fair enough. Ooh, here's one. Paramore. Somebody thinks Paramore. They say, everyone seems to think that this band is godlike, but I don't see nor hear it. Like, they have a few okay songs, but nothing amazing. I don't know where I stand on this one. I think Hayley Williams is phenomenal and such a great singer. I think she's a good showman as well. Showwoman, I guess.
Performer? Showman?
A good performer. She backs it up. But yeah, I never really got into Paramore. I'll say that. But I don't know that I really ever like got into them because I just didn't give them like a chance like I do other bands maybe. I don't think they're like super great though, but that could just be because I don't really care for the type of music they're making now. So Riot was a good album, I think. I know a lot of people love that one. A lot of praise for that. Somebody says 10 out of 10. Somebody says 8 out of 10. Somebody says Brand New Eyes is a 10 out of 10. When did Brand New Eyes come out? Was that one of their more recent ones? Sorry, guys, I'm not...
It's not the most recent one, is it?
Not super familiar with Paramore. The most recent one is This Is Why. Brand New Eyes came out in 2009. So I don't know. I don't know if that's when they kind of changed sounds or not, but whatever. What else do other people say? Paramore and Yellow Card both never really grabbed me. I loved that Yellow Card album, and the one after, Lights and Sounds, was great, I thought. Sleeping with Sirens, never got into them, but again, they were kind of... I see them as more newer. I know they've been around for a long time, but I see them more as newer as in terms of when I started listening to this kind of music. MCR... I know people whine about gatekeepers, but I have no idea why anyone ever considered MCR or Panic to be pop punk at all. Not even close. See, this genre of music, pop punk and
it's like
emo,
thematic pop punk or something.
Yeah. You listen to that song Teenagers, that's a pop punk song. It's not an emo song. But also, maybe it's just the pop feel that it gives off makes it feel more pop punk and get kind of away from emo. I don't know. But for me, this whole genre of like pop punk and emo, to me, it's all blended together. I don't really differentiate the two too often, unless it's like, if the music is more like dark sounding, I guess it's the only way I can really describe it, then I'll just say that's an emo song. Like Thursday, I would say is emo. But if you gave me like Hidden in Plain View, if we talk about their first album or whatever, it's a little dark sounding, but I listened to it. I liked it, but I think I would have said at that time maybe pop punk, but I could see it leaning a little bit more emo now. I don't know. But Panic at the Disco is another band that I never got into. I will say that. And they had a lot of praise.
Wasn't for me.
Nope. Ooh, what about NoFX?
I love NoFX. So.
Really? Never got into them. But again, I didn't really like the punk side of music. But they were pretty pop punk. If I listen to
they're hooky.
Yeah, they should maybe be considered, one of the founders of pop punk. They just didn't get that that big of a hype like Blink and Green Day did. But I would say that they're pretty important.
Well, I mean, as a bass player, I think I was always going to like NoFX anyway.
Yeah.
It's fun bass songs.
Is it? Okay. Never really noticed. But I never really listened to a whole lot of songs. You know what I was thinking of the other day? When we were like 15 and, we were playing at the state fair, didn't we play Murder the Government by NoFX?
Yep.
Of all the songs that 15-year-olds could play, we played
It was probably
Murder
on
the
like
Government.
Democrats Day or Republican Day at the fair too.
Yeah. Murder the Government. Did we even realize what those lyrics were even saying?
Oh, I knew. I felt it.
Well, I definitely didn't know.
I was trying to make a statement out there.
Yeah. Nothing changed, though. They let us keep playing, though. They didn't shut us down.
Nobody was listening.
Yeah, none.
Not that intently.
John, I think this was your post here. Somebody says, "Good Charlotte, even cornier than Simple Plan." So this person's saying Good Charlotte and Simple Plan, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely that could have been me writing.
So you feel that way. What about Good Charlotte did you not like? Or Simple Plan?
I think the lyrics always were cringy to me with both.
Yeah, I could see that. For sure.
You just don't buy it,
Yeah. And I know a lot of people have said that about like, I'm Just a Kid from Simple Plan. They're like in their 40s singing that song, which they could never have imagined that they would probably be still doing this well into their 40s, singing that same song. But I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It was like ultimately their biggest hit.
It just always had like a Kids Bop feel to me.
Yeah, I could see it. They definitely bring the pop vibes. That's one thing you can give Simple Plan is they know how to bring the pop side to pop punk, I think. Good Charlotte, I liked I liked their rise. I enjoyed them during their rise. I had their first 2 albums. We even covered Good Charlotte's Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous before. It was fun. That was a fun time, I feel like, for pop punk. So I got into them. Simple Plan I got into. I liked their first few albums too. But yeah, I could see that I can agree that they are corny lyrically.
Yeah, it was just too on the nose.
Just obvious.
Safe.
Yeah, playing it safe. Yeah, almost not like they actually are doing this, but almost pandering to the sound that they're trying to get to. Yeah. Here's a hot take. Hot Mulligan. I've tried many times. I just don't get it, they said. But Hot Mulligans, I do think they're an acquired taste.
Yeah.
I do. For some. I think if this person, they've tried many times. I tried many times, but until I actually sat down with this newer record and actually gave it a listen, listened to it a few times, I feel like I got it. Like, I don't know. And I still think they're up there as one of my favorite newer bands right now. So I like Hot Mulligan.
Yeah,
so
and I
was a late bloomer to them.
Lyrically, they're far better than a lot of other bands at the moment.
Yeah, almost advanced for sure.
For songs to resonate with, I mean, I see a lot of comments of people that are my age and the lyrics like resonate with them.
Yeah.
Because of, they're kind of singing from the perspective of being in your 20s, later 20s, you kind of, how you feel about everybody else kind of sorting your life out, but you don't have your life sorted out. So, I mean, if it can resonate with somebody that's 10, 15 years older, that's pretty cool.
And what's kind of cool is that the self-awareness that the lead singer has to sing about that stuff at such a young age. I mean, I think that's going to be beneficial to him when he hits his 30s and 40s and all that. Like,
definitely super personal lyrics.
There is something about being vulnerable. I mean, it's probably really kind of like cathartic for him and therapeutic, so good for him for being able to do that.
I feel like a lot of the time you can tell when somebody's actually singing something that really happened.
Comes from the heart. Yeah. Absolutely.
When they're specific about things, I think that's why Taylor Swift is pretty popular too. She doesn't sing vaguely about things. I think she's pretty specific.
Yep. I agree.
In her writing. So
absolutely. Here's another one that you're not going to agree with. The Wonder Years are good, but nothing crazy or exceptional to me. Only song I really like by them is We Could Die Like This. I think the Wonder Years are okay. I never really got into them.
I don't think they're like universally praised either. So
yeah, that's true too. Good point. We'll move on.
They're good though.
Somebody says Fall Out Boy, all time low. My Chemical Romance. How do you feel about Fall Out Boy?
I mean, that first record will always be a moment in time for me, so I can't shit on them.
Yeah,
you know, whatever they do after is whatever they do after. So
yeah, I feel like they've just had, mad respect for Fall Out Boy. I don't care for their last album too much, but they've had it's what seems like kind of like a natural evolution or growth. Like they just kind of started here, Take This to Your Grave, and then they went up to Stardust, and you would hear a natural progression if you listened from Take This to Your Grave all the way to the Stardust album. And
they choose to continue to try to progress too, and like they're not just relying on those popular records; they're still trying to create and stuff. So
absolutely, that's what's cool about them too. It's like they didn't like every album is almost so much different. Not, I don't want to say so much different. Some are so much different than the previous, but each record is like its own era, and that's cool. So they didn't. It's not like Newfound Glory, who kind of keeps releasing pop punk, which is fine. But if they suddenly released, an album like Fall Out Boy's Stardust, then it's going to be like people are going to be like, "What the hell is this?" Whereas Fall Out Boy did it in this natural progression, which I think keeps people in tune with them along the way. So yeah, I think they were kind of. I don't know that they did this purposefully or had a plan for this, but I think they executed what they've done throughout their career perfectly to maintain where they're at. Okay, so everybody's kind of saying the same stuff, but let's bring up real quick, what about Newfound Glory for you? Let's talk about Newfound Glory, Blink, and Green Day, and then we could close it out.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I want Green Day to stop making new music.
Really? You didn't like the Saviors album?
No. Didn't like the one
I think
before.
You gave it a C or something.
Yeah. I haven't kept up with Newfound.
I mean, Newfound's been like what you see is kind of what you get. They've been like the same band, I feel like, the whole time. So I haven't.
Yeah, they are what they are.
Yeah, they're pop punk, straight pop punk.
And I feel like they're properly rated too. So
I do too. They're loved, and then I think they're beloved by all for most.
Yeah, and I think people are critical of all three bands appropriately. Like, I don't think I think some people will blindly support Blink no matter what, just because it's Blink. But I think the majority of people are honest about how they feel about Blink and Green Day. So
I think so too. I really like how I love Green Day. I think I've said it before that I've always had a hard time differentiating who my favorite band of all time is, pop punk wise. Is it Green Day or is it Blink? But I think I said on a recent episode, Green Day's definitely taken that top spot for me. So Green Day for me, always going to have a soft spot for them. Same with Blink. I loved the Saviors album. Green Day's grown. They've kind of changed over time. I was listening to the Minority what is the name? Warning album. I don't know why I always want to call it Minority. I was listening to that this weekend, and just, man, that brought back so many memories. But yeah, I love Green Day. Nothing bad to say about them. Blink, they just had that one little hiccup. I see it as a hiccup when Tom left and Skiba joined. Wasn't a fan of that era. I think I fall into the camp, like you said. I'm gonna always love Blink because it's Blink, and always champion them, especially as long as Tom's in the band, because that's my Blink. That's the Blink that I grew up with. Not to take away anything from Skiba, and I too like Newfound Glory. Yeah, they are. I agree with you. They are what they are. It's straight pop punk.
Newfound Glory is like of a time to me. Like it never. Like once I was like past 20, Newfound Glory wasn't the same for me. It was just like, okay, that was then.
Yeah.
It's not a band that I carried with me, I don't think.
Yeah, I can go back to some of the old records and listen to them, but yeah, I'm with you. I feel that's the same for me. But all right, guys.
Like if I'm not in Dickie shorts and it's not summertime, like
yeah,
it's
right.
not, like Newfound Glory just doesn't hit.
Right, I get you. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it does have to be summertime because when I think back to listening to Newfound back in the day, it was summertime.
In your car,
windows down.
Yep.
Yep. Getting ready to go to shows. That's what it was all about.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, guys, we're hitting close to an hour here, so I'm going to go ahead and close her out. Thanks for
chatting on AIM.
Oh
yeah,
the
ladies.
Oh yeah. All right, guys.
What was in between that and like Facebook? There had to be something, right? Like,
I mean, it was
I feel like we
MySpace.
stopped doing that. Maybe.
I think it was just MySpace. Some people had like Tumblr.
I guess you just
stuff,
started texting.
Yeah, I think so.
It's just straight from that to texting.
Yep. After you would place that snake game on your Nokia phone.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, that'll do it for this episode. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you're really digging our show, please consider helping us spread the word and leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts and or on Spotify. A 5-star review would be greatly appreciated. And please let us know what you like most about this show and what you'd like to hear more of. So peace.
Bye.